Well, hey there, welcome to day 892, 892 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. With respect to me, originally it was about adding a component online to my offline businesses to support them and to expand. And then in 2017, as part of my divorce, I had the opportunity to divest myself of all my assets and do something different with my life. And I decided, hey, I've been curious about the online world and what goes on and how you work that and the freedom that's promised and the lifestyle that's promised along with that type of a lifestyle. I want to explore that. So I started exploring that. And a while after, it was actually probably quite a while after, I don't think it was till late 2018 where I really started sharing and testing and tweaking and trying different new things. I started out as a certified partner for ClickFunnels, which is a software tool for doing things online. It's basically, it's just a funnel creator, which a funnel is just a business getting process. It's attracting customers to your organization and then what you do with them once you get them. And it really doesn't discuss what you do with them once you get them. It's absolutely positively front-end marketing strategy and tools, attraction marketing. And so that's where I started really online. Now online, I'd done a bunch of little things along the way prior to that, but I was so busy, literally, too many hours a day, running offline businesses and for over a quarter century being involved in corporate America while running offline businesses in different industries. I didn't really have time to do, I would say I virtually wasn't even online. I didn't really do anything online compared to anything else that I was doing until like 2017. So I decided and was coaxed and coerced and pushed and shoved into content creation, creating content and sharing what I was doing as I went through this journey. Now, during this same time period, my vision was going to H in a handbasket. Since my 20s, I've had trouble and lost the vision in my left eye. And since about 2011, after my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, 2011, somehow that event, lucky to be here, so I'm perfectly glad to not be able to see, triggered the same historical reaction, the same course of action in my right eye, to the point where I am now legally blind. I can still see things. I'm not 100% blind. I'm not, white-eyed, sunglasses blind. I'm not carrying the white cane with the red tip, but that could happen. That could very well happen in my future where I am totally dark, lights out, can't see anything. And it's really interesting because I don't see black. I actually see white, which I find fascinating. I think it's fascinating. I don't know what other blind people see. I don't really know or interact with any other blind people. I'm sure that will change over time as well. But that's just ancillary to the story. So over the last couple of years, I decided that I would, instead of being able to write, since I usually journal and write everything down, it's nifty to write stuff down, but if you can't read it, what's the point? So I've switched from writing things down and documenting my journey to talking my journey. What am I doing? What am I working on? What's working? What's not working? What am I thinking about? What do I want to work on? What course did I just take that totally sucked? Or what course did I just take that was awesome? Or what did I get out of the webinar or the course or the video or something that I just listened to? I like to share those things here as well. So what am I doing? What am I doing right now? I just finished doing Supersize Your Business. Read the Riot Act was today's idiom. Every day for like probably over 500 days now, but I only started counting after I was a ways into it. Today was day 493 of sharing every single day an idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might business owners, since I work 99.95% with business owners, how does that apply to their business? Or how could it apply to their business? How could they use this saying that has maybe been around for hundreds of years that they don't realize is impacting them or the people that they interact with on a daily basis, but it's impacting them. The ones from the Bible, guess what? Whether we believe them or not, or what they mean or not, or where they came from, it's still, if how many people, I don't even know, I'm not going to throw statistics out because I hate that. I think we can make, and I did learn this in college and in corporate America, guess what? You can make statistics and data and information say and corroborate absolutely anything you want. Anything you can imagine, you can find and create and manipulate a statistic to give you the answer that you want and to support the answer that you want. That's why you will very seldom see me ever using statistics to validate my argument of anything, because I know that the underlying foundation of statistics is so on quicksand, not on solid ground, that I don't like to use them. I know a lot of people use them for credibility, but guess what? I hate that, and I hate when I do it. And sometimes I do it, but I don't do it to build credibility for me. I do it just to share information and to get people's attention. So today was all about reading people the Riot Act, or reading the Riot Act. And it just seemed kind of appropriate given all of the stuff that's been going on, at least here in the United States. And I think globally, actually, with the recent riots. And it doesn't really have anything to do with that. It actually has goes back to 1714, when the British Parliament, of course, passed the Riot Act that said any groups of gatherings of 12 or more where riotous, tumultuous, or illegal, or, you know, I can't remember the 3 words that they use. I'm not going to look it up. Whenever people were gathered with that kind of behavior and intent, a magistrate could come and he could, just by reading the Riot Act, disband the group. And if they didn't disband within an hour, they were severely punished because they were doing something illegal. Again, I don't even know what riot laws and riot acts look like now. Totally outside my realm of experience. And to be honest, it's outside my realm of interest. I think once something goes from protest to riot, meaning damaging private property, damaging people's property, harming other human beings, that's illegal, that's wrong, and I don't care what the reason is. There is nothing that justifies harming other human beings. You know, nothing. I don't care. Oh, well, history will show that violence is the only way to get change. Bullshit. I call absolute bullshit on that. Change doesn't come from causing more harm and hurting more people, especially innocent people. That's 100% how I feel about that. And anybody that doesn't like that I will say that violence and rioting is wrong, no matter what your justification or cause, it's so far-fetched, the people that are arguing that, and they make themselves sound so ignorant when they say that and support that it's mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling, especially the businesses that are standing up and saying, I support the riots. Well, guess what? Obviously, your business isn't one of the at least 1,000 businesses in Minneapolis that was torched, destroyed, or damaged to the point of, even with COVID, they can't open. They could have opened, but they can't because there's no business there anymore. And there's no justification for that. There's no reason for that. I've spoken up against violence and looting and property damage and vandalism my entire life. Even in high school, I remember standing up against vandalism and things, because it's ridiculous to hurt and damage other people's property. It's inappropriate. It's always inappropriate. And we're each and every one of us 100% responsible for our behavior. And if you cross that line from legal to illegal, and it's not even about the laws and what's written down. When you cross the line from positive to negative, moral to immoral, peaceful to violent, you need to be held accountable and responsible for your actions. Each and every one of us do. If I did something violent or damaged someone else's property, I expect that it's my responsibility to repair and replace that. Maybe you don't agree. I don't really care. Guess we each get our own opinion. And it's not that I don't care about you, but all of us have opinions and beliefs based on our past experiences, the things we've experienced. A lot of times, if we examine our beliefs, we find out that we have beliefs and values and hold very dear things that we didn't even consciously choose or decide for ourselves. I think about religion. Each and every one of us, we're just born, right? And we're like a clean slate. And things get written on our slate all the time, whether we are consciously aware of that or not. Every experience, every tone, everything we overhear, everything any one of our senses pick up, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, anything, it gets it gets buried, it gets put in our brain, it gets put in our subconscious brain and stored away. And we never know what is going to happen to us later on in life that's going to trigger that response. I think a lot of the upset and outrage and violence, not the violence so much, I think that's actually perpetrated intentionally, but the outrage and the protest, the things we're pushing against and protesting, we feel so strongly about that because it's triggering something in us. It's either triggering an experience that we've had that makes us feel so strongly about that, or something that we think is lacking or missing in us, or that we've done wrong, or that we feel ashamed of, which is not necessarily the best way and the best response to trigger something. I think about bullying, for example. Lots of us were bullied sometime in our life. So when we see a bullying event, we get really outraged by it. Same with abuse. Most of us in some way, shape, or form were either physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally abused by someone throughout our life. It's pretty inevitable that throughout most people's life, with the negative environment that many of us find ourselves in or that we live in, we will have been, abused or harmed or hurt in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't take much for an event to trigger that. All right, that's enough on that topic, because I'll go down a rabbit hole that I'm not prepared to go down on any morning. I am prepared, but it's not relevant. So, Get Up and Go Challenge today, day 38. It's designed to be, it's not designed at all. I've created and am creating as I go along a 40-day challenge, which will be at least 41, 42, probably 45 or more days, because what I'm doing is I'm going through and teaching the SOAP framework, my framework for dealing with any kind of change or challenge or obstacle or roadblock or difficulty, because we focus on the negative, but good changes can require that we use the SOAP model too. I'm going through that, and I want to do it for each of the 7 areas of life, and I didn't decide till well into the challenge that I was going to do that, so I need another day for sure to get through the P in SOAP model, and then I want a Q&A, and I probably want a couple of days of Q&A just to serve people better. So Get Up and Go Challenge day 38, and I'm going through it this time in the area of contribution. What am I here to contribute to the world? Why the hell am I even here? Why do I show up? What am I here for? Why am I in the planet? Why do I exist right now? Very esoteric, right? So what do I want to create? What do I want to leave? How do I want to leave? What legacy do I want to leave? How do I want to leave my mark on the world? How do I get my handprint out there? That's what this whole SOAP model will be about. And today was about the story of the situation. Where am I right now, and where do I want to be? Because it's always different, right? We always want more. As human beings, we always are striving for more. We're either expanding and growing, or we're declining and receding. And I don't like to be receding. I don't even like maintaining the status quo in very many areas of my life. I want to be continually improving, continually moving, growing, and moving forward. Fun challenge today was day 183, and it was all about shocking gifts, which is really fun because I never think the author, I don't remember who it was right now, but he says gifts should shock. They should be so awesome that they shock the receiver. And I'm like, I've absolutely never thought that I wanted to give a gift that would shock anyone. I'd like to surprise them. I like them to be delighted and happy with it, but I guess shock is a whole nother level of gift giving. So that was today's fun challenge, was what's a shocking gift that you could give or receive today. And I just added the give or receive today because it's a lot more fun to give gifts than it is to receive. At least for me. I've always loved giving gifts more than receiving them. I mean, it's nice when you get something nice from people, but I'd rather have people do something for me and help me out with something than give me a gift. So Get Up and Go Challenge, day 38. Fun challenge, day 183. Supersize your business. So these are the things that I'm doing right now every single day, especially through the summer as people slow down and do their own thing. I am no exception. The weather's nicer. I want to pay more attention to my physical well-being, my mental health, my emotional health. So I do more family things, more things that are fun, because it's the year of fun challenges. I want to do more fun things, and that means I do less work things. Very different shift for me. Most of my life has been packed with 90% work, business, earning a living, and jobs and things, and 10% was left over to do all the other areas of my life. I'm specifically and purposefully shifting that to 90% of my time and energy goes into creating the life that I want in each of those areas, and just 10% is about making a living, work. Now, there's some overlap in that in terms of how I contribute and how I show up in the world. Part of that people would consider work. I don't consider work because it's fun for me. It's what I love to do. So that's it. That's what I am working on right now. Again, I've got to come up with what am I doing next as the Get Up and Go challenge draws to an end. What's my next thing? What is the next way that I'm going to contribute? And what do I want to do next? It's definitely not going to be a 40-day challenge. I don't know. Maybe it'll be longer. Maybe it'll be shorter. Maybe it'll be different. But it'll definitely be different, right? I found that the 40-day challenge, it was challenged by a group of 150,000 entrepreneurs. Each and every one of us were challenged to do a 40-day challenge. And 40 has got some biblical reference, which isn't why I did it. I just did it because whenever anybody says, hey, do a challenge, I'm all in, right? I've done hundreds and hundreds of challenges personally over the last decades. I've been doing challenges for decades, not just I'm doing it for a marketing ploy. I have literally been doing challenges for decades in about every, well, actually in every area and aspect of my life. And even as I think about it, including spiritual and emotional and contribution, which are the areas that I tend to shy away from, I've done challenges in each of those areas, every one of those areas, in different businesses, in different industries, in different walks of life, because that's how I am wired. I am personally wired to do challenges. My sister was giving me a hard time the other day because throughout this 40-day challenge, I gave up sugar. Sweets and sugar, anything sweet and sugar. Now that doesn't mean I can't eat fruits and natural sugars, but anything like processed foods and processed sugar, I gave that up for 40 days. I'm really excited, and I probably will not extend that beyond the 40-day challenge. So on day 40, today's day 38, 39, 40, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, I can eat sweets again. And now, I'm not going to go crazy, but I am going to have a sea salt caramel. I already thought about that, but it was just to give my body a shake up and a shift, because COVID-19 was not good for me physically. I still did the same things I always do, but for some reason something triggered, and my health and my energy and things have gone down, and it makes me frustrated. I don't want my energy to go down. I'm one of those people that is always continually improving and trying to get my energy to go up. So for my energy, I mean in a lot of aspects of my physical well-being, have gone down. And at the end of last year, I was working very hard. I did a 90-day blood pressure challenge, and that was to get my blood pressure down, so when I go to the cardiologist next, which I gotta make an appointment, I want my blood pressure to be down, so I don't, otherwise he's gonna make me take a blood pressure medication. And I had it down at the end of the year, then I got really sick over Christmas and New Year's, and that kind of set the tone. And then as we came out of that, I was getting better, and then COVID hit, and in a lot of areas and aspects, things that were easy for me to do before became more difficult and more challenging. And I instead of pushing and leaning into some of those physically, I didn't lean into them. I did the opposite of what I know I needed to do for me. And so now I'm running to catch up to fix that, or to not fix it, but to improve it, to continually improve it. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, if you have any ideas for me, I'm always open to feedback and suggestions. Share them in the comments below. If you have any questions that I can help you with, or if you just don't even know who to ask, hit me up and we'll see if we can't hook you up with the right person. I guarantee we can hook you up with the right person or resource to continue your progress, to keep you moving ahead each and every day. All right, have a great day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.